Good morning, y'all. I'll be in the village today for the first time, which I'm really excited about. So right now I'm heading to eat breakfast so I can fuel up, and then I'll head to the campus to meet with the project team, and then we'll head out. I checked on all my laundry this morning. It's wet, but it'll dry today, so Hakuna Matata. So humid that my camera lens is fogging up. Started off much less emotional than any other day. I feel really grounded and present today, which is really important. This is how I needed to feel today in order to hold space for these women and their experiences. Holding space meaning I have enough stillness so that I'm listening to them with my whole body and my full self. I'm gonna go grab a snack and then be back here so that we can leave. Not too sure what I'm eating, but they're delicious. That's a samosa. This is this flaky pastry puff that's stuffed with vegetable goodness. I heard that there's the Communist Socialist Party, and then the palm is, you said, right government?
Yeah.
And then what's the other one?
Other one is like BROOM.
Oh yeah, the lotus.
Yeah, they are called BJP.
BJP?
Yeah, and they are the one who is like in power now.
Oh, got it. BJP's in power. Okay, people can take the boats, go across, cost 10 rupees. We're also on a scooter. Is that what you all call them? Scooters?
Yeah.
Yeah. We would call this a motorcycle.
Yeah.
Something lovely about doing my laundry, and yes, it's dry. By hand is that I don't lose socks to the sock demon that lives in the washer and the dryer, because I'm not using a washer or a dryer. My first day in the field, I'm learning hands-on what empowerment looks like, how to practice it, how to show up in a space where cultural humility is a requirement. And these are all beautiful skills and things to be practicing, and I'm only going to become a better human and a stronger social worker because of it. A more equipped human rights practitioner as well. They made this for me. It's these women have a stitching and tailoring business, and I'm working to support them in that. And they made me this beautiful shawl. I just feel so grateful that they would even consider doing that. I don't think I'm ever gonna get really good at looking at the camera and not looking over there. So maybe I should just turn the camcorder thing over there so I have nothing to look at. Oh my gosh, imagine that. I can like turn it to make sure that the image is cute, and then I can turn it away so I don't get distracted. My plan now is to start editing vlog 2. There are lots of ego-driven rants and descents into madness on this one. I'm fairly certain that I chose to not include all of them. I'm sure you just saw quite a few. I'm hoping that those become way less frequent. Annie should be calling me later tonight, which will be the morning for her on Monday. And then I'm going to do a mantra meditation. I should share this with you all. I have a mala, Amma. She imparted a mantra into me, and she gave me some of her divine energy when she whispered that mantra into my ear. And it's a sacred, secret phrase in Sanskrit that she gave me based on my understanding and my conception of God. It's so relevant to me and so beautifully personal, and it really does feel sacred. But how this works is you never go over this guru bead, which is this middle one with the little tassel on it. This tassel is having some issues. I think the humidity really got to her. I'm fixing her. Sorry, girl. This has 108 beads. The mantra meditation requires 108 chants of the mantra. Say the mantra and then I move, and then I say the mantra and I move. Oh gosh, not like that though. So you don't touch the mala during mantra meditation with your index finger, because this is the finger of accusation and ego. Each one of the fingers represents a element, and the index finger represents fire. When you point at somebody, you're actually throwing fire energy at them, which is accusational. I don't want to harm the energy of my mala, because every time I meditate with this and complete a cycle of 108 mantras, I'm putting my energy into it. And I want that energy to be protected. It's a sacred object. When I get to the end, when I reach the guru bead again, you don't cross the bead by doing that and then continuing. You actually turn it. Whoop. Yay. I swear, that took me like 20 minutes to figure out how to do. I had to watch like 3 different YouTube videos of different people doing it to figure out how to not cross the guru bead. It already feels very sacred and very special to me. I feel so grateful to have gotten it here in India at the ashram. When it breaks, I hope that's not anytime soon, but when it breaks, that means that it's fulfilled its purpose. It's made of wood, so I definitely need to clean it occasionally, but it's a really beautiful tool, and I learned a lot about beads and how they can be used in spiritual practice through this mala and also through. Obviously, I wear these. The one at the very top is new. Tears of Lord Shiva. Rudraksha beads. They're unique in that they have different number of faces. This one has 4, which represents certain attributes of the seed. There are ones that have like up to 14 faces, which is wild. Most of them have 5. Anyways, I'm gonna shut up now and continue on with my life. I slept in today. I was asleep until early afternoon. My body needed it. I don't know what's going on with me, but if I didn't listen to my body, I was going to be miserable today. I am off to eat lunch and then off to the orientation for the I Am meditation training. Today was a very simple day. I didn't do a whole lot of much. Did orientation for the meditation training that I'm doing tomorrow, which requires me to be at the ashram at 5 a.m. And then we just have little chunks of training throughout the day. And then same thing on Thursday. Came home and did some singing after doing some reading and just grounding myself at the temple. Went to go eat dinner at that restaurant that I love so much. The spice, I'm acclimating. And I'm acclimating to the heat as well. It's either that or I'm not resisting what is as much anymore. I think it's a little bit of both. I'm going to edit the vlog for maybe an hour and then finish my book that I keep saying I'm gonna finish. It's just taking me a lot longer to get through it because I'm really engaged in the content. Everything that I read in The Power of Now feels so valuable. So much so that my highlighter died, so I just got back from down in the village market area to buy a highlighter. Life is good and life is always good. I don't really have anything else to share or say about the day. I just spent a lot of it being present and I experienced it and it was beautiful. It is 10 minutes till 5. I have to head to the ashram for a puja that we're doing to begin this meditation training. It's a dedication to Ganesh, an offering to remove obstacles in our ways, specifically obstacles that limit our ability to engage in meditation. I've never done a puja before, so I'm really excited. I have a friend named Puja, so I'm curious to see what this experience is like. It's just about 6:30. That was a pretty intense and beautiful experience. We all sat around a fire pit. The puja consisted of multiple steps that this Swami, or I'm not sure what he would be, person, he was in charge of it. He blessed a lot of things, offered a lot of things to the fire. We got up and somebody washed our hands or put water on our hands for us to wash, and then We were given something to throw into the fire. We sat back down. The main Swami, the one who was offering things to the fire, in charge of the whole thing, then offered us all sesame seeds, and we threw those into the fire. During this almost hour and a half long ritual and process, one master, I don't know what you want to call them, was chanting, and then slowly over time there ended up being 3 total people chanting. So a woman came and joined about halfway through, and then a 3rd man joined. I'm heading back to my hostel to get some rest. I'm gonna get a couple more hours before the first session of the training, which I think is at 10:30. Look at how beautiful the morning is though. Wow. Just absolutely beautiful. Peaceful. Even with the birds. Especially with the birds. Finished The Power of Now today. I'm so grateful that I finally opened that book. It's time to move on to the Bhagavad Gita. The meditation training today was a little overwhelming at parts, but I feel good about it. I'm excited to keep training tomorrow and to put this into practice. It's really helpful to have structure for me when it comes to practices like this, to create space and presence. It's kind of the start of my 2nd week here. It's Tuesday. It's the 24th, so I'm celebrating 14 years of friendship with Michael Reaves, which is really cool. I also noticed resistance in me today, but it was about little things, like someone scraping a spoon against metal, the birds chirping really loud while I was trying to meditate. But it's still negativity, and negativity is resistance, and it comes from the mind, and it takes me out of the present. But as soon as I bring awareness to it, I'm present, and that's all that I can do. Just continuously bring awareness to those things, because negativity and resistance cannot exist in presence. I think I get to chill and then just eat dinner, and then that's it. It's election season. That was chaotic. Something else I'll say about presence and resistance. I've lived all of my life without bringing awareness to those little instances. I just let the negativity hit me, and then it boils and it festers, and it has the power to change how I view the entire day. And I feel like I've taken a lot of my power back by just bringing awareness to that resistance and negativity when it comes up. And it comes up a lot. Like, I just had to go through a giant crowd of campaigners, and I noticed annoyance and irritation, but that's it. All I had to do was notice it and connect back to my breath and realize they are divinity, they are being just like me. There's no division. I'll keep talking about this even if you get tired of hearing about it, because it does feel like a really radical shift in my approach to the world and to being Donaven, just to being, I guess. Oh, I got these cookies. They really look like that too. Okay, this one's not as creepy because it doesn't have 2 teeth. Its eyes are just falling out. Really tasty, really creepy. I ate a delicious dinner at a different restaurant a little further down the road from the one I've been going to. Had a spicy cashew curry with parota, which is like a flaky bread, and then some roti, which is like a crunchy bread. It was great. We really try not to waste food here. It's a big cultural thing, at least here in southern India. I don't know, and in this village specifically, I don't know if that's the case all throughout India, but I know that here, if you do waste food, it's expected that you apologize to your deity and that you give yourself grace. I did eat all of it. It was delicious. I have my 2nd day of training tomorrow, and then I've committed to 21 days of doing it every single day. Today, doing it, even though we were just learning, I didn't realize how stagnant the energy in my body was. I can't remember the last time I've actually stretched, and stretching is a part of the practice. I think it's going to be really good to get energy moving in my body. It's a great way to just connect with connect with now. Part of the practice is also practicing being the witness consciousness and observing, which is key to developing presence. I'm stoked. I think it's going to be a really useful tool. My time here in India so far has just been me learning new tools to integrate into my daily life and into my spiritual practice, which is my life. I'm not really struggling with this. It's just the reality of like making this vlog and being involved on social media like I am, and being a musician and using social media to promote my music and having a website and selling merch, and like all of that is the ego. And that's the world that we live in. It's all very ego driven. Look at me, look at who I am, what I have, what I do. And so my relationship with these things is going to change, or at least the way that I think about them is already changing and has changed. For me, it's really important now that I use social media, especially Instagram, because I post on there a lot. The things I'm posting should be less me, more us, if that makes sense. The things I'm posting should be encouraging people to explore their being more and should raise collective consciousness. That's how I want to show up in the world. As a human rights activist, and here I go identifying with a label, but it is a big part of my life. My life situation is being an activist and being a student and a leader. Cultivating presence and showing others how to do that is the best way to resolve this shit show of a world that the human race has created. We're in the messes that we are because of ego, because people are so driven by their minds and are acting out of their pain, and they aren't centered in being. We're all insane. Truly. And the best way to alleviate that insanity is for all of us to wake the fuck up. I can be a part of that by having conversations like these, by sharing on social media about it, but also showing up in person with who I really am. Being non-resistant and non-reactive. Being an example in that way, but not to be an example to be like, look at me, be like me. To be an example because that's inherent to being. It's not something I have to try to do, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And anyone who's woken up, anyone who's conscious, we just have to show up. And hopefully, as more and more of us wake up and continue to be in the world, connected to source, connected to each other, more and more people will wake up, and we will see the second coming of Christ, which is the next step in our evolution as a species. If I sound too woo-woo for you, I'm not apologizing for that. I truly believe that these are the solutions to our issues. The world that I have had in my head for years has felt like a utopia almost, but now I see why. Well, as we become conscious, and if we are conscious meaning that we're aware of our source, of our identity, who we really are, we're trying to not identify with the ego, or we're not identifying with the ego. We know truth when we hear it, when we see it, when we feel it. And I've had this truth, this image of a world where we take care of each other, where we're grounded. We all have the freedom to be. We experience real peace and joy and love. We can do it. I just don't know how much more pain and disaster it's going to take, and tragedy and human rights violations and atrocities before we all wake up. All of that to say that I'm aware of the irony in being online like I am and doing this vlog, while also talking about killing the ego and creating space for presence and being. It's very interesting, the world that we live in. Any of you who are also navigating that, leave me a comment, shoot me a DM. Let's connect, let's navigate this together. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Peace. Look, I'm all caught up on laundry. I've had to just make it a daily part of my routine. So I've been letting clothes soak in soapy water overnight, and then in the morning putting them out and taking in whatever was there in the late morning through the night. And most of the time it's dry, sometimes it's not, sometimes it has to stay out there a little bit longer the following day, but I think I'm getting the hang of it. After this weekend, my second week in India will be over. It took me 2 weeks to get the hang of it, but I did. Second day of meditation training today. I woke up feeling pretty disturbed and restless. My mind really wants to be with Palestine and with the college protests happening. But that's not my reality, that's not my now. I'm not there. I think Boulder and Denver are going to mobilize, and I really want to be there because that's the right side of history, and that's collective action creating an actual impact. I really value that, and it's not possible for me to be there. I need to rein the mind in and accept, offer no resistance to the fact that I can't be there. I need to also offer no resistance to the fact that my cat Winter is sick. My mind ran with that, let me tell you. But all I can do is make sure that his insurance is good to go and that he gets to a vet, and it sounds like those things are being handled, so I surrender. It's a much better place to be, instead of carrying around all of the worry about not being in America, not being able to protest. Is Winter gonna be okay? I don't have to carry that with me. I can let go and accept what is and just live here. It's hard, but it's also simple. Right before the meditation training, like literally right before I fully set my bag down to go find my spot, I dropped my water bottle, which was full of water, on my big toe. I think it's broken. That was 3 hours ago and it still hurts. I mean, as soon as that happened, my mind took over and I am not miserable. I feel miserable. The body feels miserable. And maybe it's just a really bad bruise. I don't know, but I don't know. Today's been interesting. There's been 3 people approach me who appeared very paranoid. And then there's been 3 or 4 animals that have come up to me. There's now a cat, a really small cat, meowing outside the hostel door and hanging out over here at the window. I can't do anything for them because we're not supposed to feed them, and I'm definitely not supposed to pet them or anything because they carry diseases. But I wish I could do something instead of just ignoring them. I'm having like a pretty intense somatic response to all of that. I don't feel well. I'm gonna drink some water and take a nap. The mind really wants to complain a lot right now, so I'm going to turn the camera off and just get some sleep because... So I took about a 4.5, 5 hour nap. I do think my toe is broken. It still kind of hurts. It seems as if physical pain is a gateway for the ego to really start to win. It has something physical that I can't really escape to latch onto. I'm feeling a little bit better. I'm gonna figure out how to go to the hospital. I don't know what they can do for it. It's okay. I slept well. I'm going to eat breakfast and then I'm off to the lab. My heart is with all the students. These people are looking at me, so I looked back. My heart is with all the students who are protesting the genocide in Gaza. Stay organized, stay strong. My alma mater, CU Denver, seems to have organized, so I am aware that when I get back, I will be there. It was a pretty good Friday. I'm heading out to the Junction, is what they call it. It's like the shopping area of the village, so I can get a broom and a dustpan. Yeah, this floor is getting out of control. My friend SITHARA is gonna come with me. She's also my project partner in all of this, so we're working together on the development work that I'm doing here. I found out today that I have to publish a paper. I say have to. I'm gonna reframe this. I get to publish a paper, which will be my first publication, so that's pretty exciting, and also a little daunting, but it's perfect because for my master's capstone, that's my plan as well, is to write a paper, and then I'm on a research team right now with my capstone faculty advisor, working on another publication within the same area of focus. So I will graduate with 3 publications. That's so cool. I feel so grateful. Those things don't define me, obviously, and they might not even work out, right? These opportunities keep coming my way. I am supported and protected by the universe. Because I am the universe. And so are you. Thanks for being here. Oh, it's time to go. This is masala dosha. I don't know what you're eating.
Vada. This is knee roast.
Oh, okay.
Knee roast. Knee
Nay?
roast.
Roast.
Yeah.
Okay. You called this chutney?
Chutney.
Chutney.
Yeah.
It's coconut.
Yeah.
This was spicy.
Yeah, this is sambal.
Samba?
Yeah.
Sambal.
Sambal.
Oh.
This is tomato chutney.
Oh, so it's like this but made of tomatoes. And inside of this is onions and potatoes, mashed potatoes. It looks like a crepe. It looks like a crepe. Delicious. That's the point in all of this, it's delicious. Guess who finally has a broom and a dustpan? Me. This floor is just absolutely filthy, so I'm gonna get to work. It is just about 12:30. I slept until around 11. It's Saturday, so I can do that. It's also a holiday for the community here. They work Monday through Saturday here normally, but nobody's working today from what I understand. At least the lab is closed, so I definitely have the okay to rest. And I do need to eat. I feel that. My stomach is empty. I had a really hard time falling asleep last night. I don't think I fell asleep until around 6 a.m., which is 6 p.m. Colorado time, so honestly, if this is the habit when I get back to Colorado, I'll just be going to bed early. My mind is just all over the place, and that's what the mind does, right? It's a pendulum of past, future, past, future. I'm learning to reel it in. That is a lifetime practice. It's not something that I'm gonna get over the course of this vlog or my time in India. My mind and my heart really want to be on the ground with students right now in the US. I have the privilege of being in India right now, getting a break from the descent into fascism that is America right now. I'm just going to keep breathing and focusing on what I can control. My inner world as of late was chaotic. I was carrying around a lot of pain. I was carrying it around like it was my friend, like I couldn't live without it because I needed to identify with it. I've been thinking quite a bit about music and how my music has also reflected that. Music has been a space for me to let the past live there in the music so it doesn't have to live in me. At the same time, if I'm constantly writing about the past, I'm constantly thinking about it. This album that I'm working on, that I've been working on, it's written. There's a couple rewrites I need to do, a couple melody changes and maybe some lyric tweaks, but it's ready to be recorded and released, and 2 of the singles are out already. I feel really proud of them. It is an album about my past though. Not even mine. I don't even want to call it my past. It's an album about the past. And I'm just thinking about how I'm going to navigate recording that and revisiting all of that pain without my ego wanting to latch onto it and identify with it and make it my whole sense of self again. It's going to be okay. I hope everyone watching this knows that, despite whatever you're going through or whatever pain you're carrying or whatever worries you have, there are no problems or worries in the now. And if you feel that there are, do what you can. Take action where you can, or surrender. Let go. Relinquish control. The other option is to resist, and resistance is negativity, and it fuels the mind, and it does nothing but cause pain. I promise you, I have done it my entire life. Most of us have lived that way, and we don't need to. I'm getting better at it. I'm getting better at reminding myself of these things and not letting the shit take me out. Some may argue that that's a privilege, to be able to not let the horrors of the world and the atrocities that actual people are facing consume me. I'd argue that presence and being are available for everyone, no matter what your life situation is. You are life. You are not your life situation. The last thing I'll say is something that I've learned that has really challenged the way that I view being, is when we talk about loving ourselves, loving myself, taking care of myself, it causes a split in us. Actually, let me pull this up because this is... Ouch. Oh, my foot is still pretty swollen, BTW. Okay, so the question that's posed is it not true that you need to have a good relationship with yourself and love yourself before you can have a fulfilling relationship with another person? There's a whole chapter in here about how identifying with pain negatively impacts our relationships and how we can shift that kind of addictive relationship cycle into an enlightened pattern of relationships. The answer is, well, the answer presented in this book, and an answer that I find to be true. If you cannot be at ease with yourself when you are alone, you will seek a relationship to cover up your unease. You can be sure that the unease will then reappear in some other form within the relationship, and you will probably hold your partner responsible for it. All you really need to do is accept this moment fully. You are then at ease in the here and now, and at ease with yourself. But do you need to have a relationship with yourself at all? Why can't you just be yourself? When you have a relationship with yourself, you have split yourself into two: I and myself, subject and object. The mind-created duality is the root cause of all unnecessary complexity, of all problems and conflict in your life. In the state of enlightenment, you are yourself. You and yourself merge into one. You do not judge yourself. You do not feel sorry for yourself. You're not proud of yourself. You do not love yourself. You do not hate yourself, and so on. The split caused by self-reflective consciousness is healed, its curse removed. There is no self that you need to protect, defend, or feed anymore. When you are enlightened, there is one relationship that you no longer have: the relationship with yourself. Once you have given that up, all your other relationships will be love relationships. That is truly disidentifying with the ego. It's what Jesus meant by abandon yourself. He didn't mean stop taking action to ensure that you're well. He didn't mean deny yourself of the material world, right? It's don't identify with those things. Don't let them be what fulfills you or what makes you happy. That's what he meant when he said die to yourself. He meant don't split yourself into two. There's no subject and object, it just is being. If that resonates with you, fantastic. If it doesn't, carry on. It truly is a beautiful day out. I did not know that the ashram had a general store. Anyways, I was able to get a bunch of stuff I've been needing, like a new razor. I also got some ashwagandha, as well as neem for my skin. What is that? Is there something floating in the water, or is that an animal? I think it's a stick. I think it's just a stick. I'm heading back to the room to do what I said I was gonna do. Chill. I'm meeting one of my friends from the lab. Her name's RADIKAH. She's awesome. She got bikes for us, so we're going cycling. I'll try to record some of the adventure. We're gonna have fun. We got bikes! RADIKAH's gonna give us the food 101.
So this is rice appams. All of these are rice preparations. This is rice and coconut. It's rice flour ground really thin, but it's coarse. And then you have coconut, and they mix it and they put it and they steam it. This is a batter, rice again, and they beat it up and it's like a pancake.
Yeah.
There are 3 different curries on the table.
Okay.
This one's called mutta curry. That's mutta means egg.
Oh.
So there's a boiled egg and there's onion and tomato gravy. This is green peas, and it's again a coconut-based gravy. It kind of has like a Thai flavor to it without the thyme leaves. Really tasty, mild. This was a little more intense. tomato, spices, and we call it kadala curry. We call it kadala curry. It's chana. It's like it's similar to the peas. It's like a brown color pea. It's really tasty and very high in protein.
Oh, awesome.
This can be a little gassy.
Okay.
And this is okay.
You know a lot about food.
Yeah, I've been eating the same thing for a while.
And with that, my second week in India is coming to a close. Wow, it's really game time for my project. Starting to really frame a paper around a specific research question, meeting with the lab director hopefully this week, and just continuing on this incredible journey. It's been so challenging, as you can see. If you've watched all 3 vlogs now, you know I feel really grateful. I say that a lot in these vlogs, and that's because I mean it. I am sending all of you watching this so much love and light. Let's go. Oh, I am going to meet with an astrologist this week. I met with one my first week here, and she encouraged me to let go of my desires. She encouraged me on the path that I'm on and reminded me that I have 3.5 more years of my Saturn return. And during that time, it's homework time, baby. Continue developing presence and self. Find somebody who makes me happy. I did find somebody who made me happy, and I butchered it, so the more whole I am, the healthier I can be for whoever I end up with. I feel really hopeful and really grounded. Also quite hungry, so I think I might go eat and then call it a night. I did record like a vlog 3.5. Maybe I'll wait till the weekend to upload it. But it's a message to folks here in India, but it's a very specific message that Radhika encouraged me to record and share. So I did. Okay, time for me to get off of my soapbox, and much love.